ให้อันนี้อันนี้ให้ใส่นี่เลยใส่เนี่ยเดี๋ยวอย่าปัดใส่หน้าเลยทาปากไปมีน้ำลายเต็มเลยทาปากอาจารย์เอาไปทาปากทาปัดพอละทาเยอะเดี๋ยวน้องกัดทาเยอะเดี๋ยวน้องกัดพอละทำนี้แหละสวยแล้วอุ้ยสวยอันนี้อ่ะเป๋านี่เป๋าบังปะแกะเป๋านี่เป๋านี่อ่ะไปให้ย่าดูปะแล้วกันจ้ามาหายากันไปด้วย
So you've got tubes, and it's just surrounded by a shell. Inside the tubes in this one here is condensing water. And you can build up some type of calcium in deposits and things. You want to keep your water.
Oh,
And then due to the age, we're concerned about how long particular chiller, which is running R11 refrigerant, is a little over 26 years of age. So we're performing an eddy current test here to see how the tubes are doing with 26 years of age. You know, how many more years can we get out of this, out of these tubes and out of this chiller? You know, what is the life expectancy of the chiller? Some people say life expectancy is 25. We're already at that life expectancy. But you can push that out with good maintenance.
อันนี้ไปด้วยอ่ะเอาน้องไปเลี้ยงด้วย
เอาน้องไปนอนด้วยก่อน So we have to have an epoxy coating put on there, which is going to bring that back out to the natural thickness, extending the life of that tube sheet, therefore extending the life of that chiller. So these are some things that we're doing to take place as part of the maintenance, repairs and maintenance to extend out the life expectancy of the chiller. So that's it for now. Alright, we're doing eddy current testing here on this chiller. There's the machine, the eddy current machine right down there on the floor. And you can see the readings that are being displayed there for the technician to see. Here he is taking the eddy current testing rod, putting it down through the tube sheet and into the tubes through the entire length of the chiller. He's got it marked off so he knows exactly how much distance he needs to go in through the chiller. And then he's methodically going one tube at a time. You'll see right there how he's doing that. And then that's the sensor head that you see at the very end. But it's a pretty fast process once he gets his machine set up and that point running the eddy current test. So this is the evaporator section that he's on now. You can tell that it's the evaporator section because of the insulation surrounding the shell and tubes. The condensing section doesn't have that insulation. The flat section there is the tube sheet, and then he's going in through the tubes. Alright, so here he is doing the condenser tube, and everything's going along nice and smoothly. You see the fairly decent speed that you can go at once you've got your machine set up and you're just going from one tube to the next. There you can see it popping out of one tube right into the next. Out of that tube and into the next. So it's like 30 seconds per tube. It actually goes quite quickly. Here is your machine, and it is recording, measuring the wall thickness and what's going on with the tube. So he can determine if there's a thinning situation going on, if there is some type of a wear going on at the tube sheets. This particular condenser happens to have two tube sheets in between. So it's, two supports in between. So it's got the tube sheets, one at this end of the shell, one at the other end of the shell, and then two support brackets that it has to go through in the chiller itself. So, anyways, this is eddy current testing for the machine. And he's looking at that dot to determine the thickness of the tube, and he can determine the thousandths of an inch of how thick the tube is. And also, as he goes through the tube supports, he can see the pattern that is being displayed on his display there. This particular machine that does the eddy current testing is not exactly inexpensive. This is about $18,000 for one of these in order to do this eddy current testing, which is used to determine the life expectancy of the tubes and what's happening with the tubes with your chiller. So that's pretty much what's happening here. Okay, one small correction on my part. This condenser, as well as the evaporator, actually has three supports in between. So it has the two end sheets, or tube sheets, and then three supports in between. So there's like 5 points of contact to get all together for each of the condensing tubes as well as the evaporator tubes.